Maayong gabi mga bay, this is Patrick.
And this is Queenie.
Welcome to our podcast BE Bay, evening talks and discussions with facts and opinions about our bays, for our bays, and to us bays.
Alibay, tambay sa ta.
Maayong gabi mga bay, welcome to another episode of our podcast BE Bay. Tonight, we are going to talk about living slow in a fast-paced world. Patrick, how are you? What have you been doing lately? What keeps you busy these days?
I'm good. What keeps me busy these days is job, work, and another job, and another work, and job, and work. So yeah, I think that's the normal day we have as a working individual, and I think that's also what our other boys are doing also, those working. And I might say that we are in a fast-paced world,
Yeah.
and I think we really need to pause and have some time to ourselves, have some time to reflect, have some time to rest, have some time to, just be with the environment, just be with Mother Nature, feel the breeze, feel the calmness, the serenity, and just feel everything that surrounds us. So how about you, Winnie?
Same as you, I also have work to keep me busy in a day. Aside from that, what keeps me busy is also volunteering in a local church. So aside from work, I also have doing an extra work in a local church. And another thing that keeps me busy is also endlessly scrolling through social media.
Yeah, I would support on that because I also have times that I caught myself scrolling, just
Yeah.
like saying to myself, I will just only check it for 30 minutes. Then I nap 5 hours. So
Yes.
yeah, that really stole my sleep and my rest and my sanity oftentimes.
So, aside from sleeping or taking a nap, as you mentioned earlier, what ways do you do to give yourself a rest?
I would play online games, particularly mobile games, but I don't play on a player versus player setup because fighting with another player is really stressful. I just want to play the game, relax, so I just play with an AI or a system generated character just to really relax myself. And I also do cooking and eating, of course, at the same time. Yeah, so far it's how I relax myself aside from sleeping. How about you? What do you do aside from sleeping? How do you relax yourself?
After a long day's work, what I do is just sit down or read a book or give myself time to just look aimlessly in an empty space or just going outside for a walk. Yeah, just taking in the environment outside. That's how I give myself rest aside from sleeping and taking a nap. So, I just noticed that in today's time, in today's information age, that we are really living in a fast-paced world, like what you said earlier. And right now, the current time that we're living in, everything is just almost instant,
Yeah.
right? Seems there is no more room to slow down already. And there's this urge to always keep up with the rat race, to always keep up with the fast-paced world, or we might left behind, or we have this fear of missing out on what's new, on what's in today, or what's trending. And it seems like in this fast-paced world, there's no more room to calm down anymore.
Yeah, I agree. I also felt that oftentimes when my work or my job and the tasks that I have overwhelmed me,
Yeah.
that I really need to work overtime. And the moment that I went off the office is I would see not the daylight but the moonlight. So
Yeah.
that's really like, wow, it's already night. I started working early morning, yet I went out to office like it's night already. So
Yeah.
that's how fast the day could be for me. My work oftentimes took a lot of time before, but now I learned that it is not how life should be.
Yes.
So I have adapted some adjustments that I need to do, and I would like to share to our boys some of the tips that I had acquired or learned how to really slow down and not to miss the day.
Yep. So tonight we are going to give you few tips on how to live slow in this fast-paced world. These tips are some methods that myself and Patrick have done as well to keep ourselves sane and calm in this fast-paced world. So when we come back, we'll give it to you. Just stay tuned.
And we're back mga bay, and without any further ado, let's talk about tip number 1 on how we can slow pace in this fast pacing world. So, breathing exercises. I often do this. I am still doing it, and I find it effective. Every time I face my computer for work and see that the email pops up and another one, and another one, I just take off my hands from my keyboard, inhale 4 seconds, then exhale 8 seconds. So that depends on how long you could hold your breath. I could up to 4 seconds and I can exhale up to 8 seconds, but you can do your own number because this is not a guide or a manual on how to do breathing exercises because I know we are knowledgeable on how to breathe, so manual is not needed on this. So we could calm our mind, and with a calm mind we could have a clearer vision on what to do, what to prioritize, and we will not get panicked when things, let's say, if you could see 50 emails and read emails, we could not get panicked because we know what to prioritize because our mind is calmer because of our breathing exercises.
Yeah. Another benefit that I see in doing breathing exercises within the day is that it makes you more aware on your breathing.
And also, it would make you aware that you're still alive. Am I still breathing?
Yeah.
Good.
Right. So, in this fast-paced world, we get consumed with the work that we have, with the emails, and everything else that keeps us busy or keeps us distracted. We tend to forget how we are breathing. Like, are we even breathing?
Yeah.
If we are already breathing too fast, or do we skip breaths in a minute?
Yeah.
Right. Personally, for me, I do breathing exercises whenever I get stressed out or whenever I feel anxiety kicking in. What I do is I do mindful breathing. Like I breathe in a count of 4. I hold it in 2 seconds and then I breathe it out through my mouth for 8 seconds. And I repeat that sometimes in a span of 5 minutes or until I get calmer.
Okay.
Yeah.
But like what I said earlier, the numbers you could hold your breath depends on you.
You're right.
If Queenie and I could hold our breath like 2 seconds, then release it for 8 seconds or any longer, you could do your own pace because slow pacing is not a, what you call this, a
step-by-step procedure.
Yeah, step by step, and it is not identical to anyone. What's the term with that?
It's unique to everyone.
Yeah, it's unique to everybody.
Second is living slow in a fast-paced world is I listen to lo-fi. Okay, lo-fi it's actually a new genre for a song. It's short term for low fidelity. It's a music or production quality in which elements usually regarded as imperfections of a recording or performance are audible, sometimes as a deliberate aesthetic choice. So sometimes it's just beats, and if you'd listen, it actually calms me down on a personal experience. Whenever I do work and I feel myself getting tangled in the work and I get overly busy and I still want to keep track of time, I still want to keep track of things that I still need to do ahead, I slow myself down or I calm myself down by listening to lo-fi. It's actually my new favorite genre. Whenever I listen to it, they have the same beat, they have the same tempo most if not all, of the lo-fi songs that I listen to. And it's not complicated because they are just instrumentals. As I mentioned earlier, the definition of a lo-fi, they also include imperfections of a recording, like maybe a slow whisper or a tap of a recording button or rain sounds. It keeps me calm and somehow it keeps me bopping to the beat of the lo-fi song, which is mostly slow.
So listening to slow music is equivalent to living slow in this fast-paced world.
Yeah. And actually, it's not even just lo-fi who does that. You can also be slower or calmer when you listen to some instrumental music or the classical piano songs. But that's just me. This the tips that we are giving out here are our personal experiences. Yeah.
Yeah. And also, I like the sound of the rain.
Right.
So if you don't like lo-fi and the sound of the rain calms you, then you could just listen to that. You can search to any platform that provides music. Just search on nature sounds and there are birds chirping, the raindrops, and everything that the nature provides us.
Yeah. And then some of the nature sounds we hear on Spotify are not the usual sounds that we are hearing mostly nowadays, since most of us are in quarantine, are in lockdown, and we can't, naturally hear birds chirping, especially in the city, or the rustle of the leaves. So, yeah. Whatever calms you down, guys. Lo-fi is just my personal pick. You can always take yours.
Yeah, so let's move on. So, yoga. Yoga is more than a physical workout.
Yeah.
Yoga is a full mind and body exercise.
Yeah.
Better posture, breathing benefits, less stress, more calm, good to your heart, your exercise awareness and mindfulness. To some, this would relax them and it would focus their mind on what is something that they need to be done, and posture, body exercise, because I think I saw some yoga sessions that they really need to lift their partners up using one hand, or they really need to do a elbow stand. So it's about strength, it's about focus, it's about posture. If you want to try yoga, you just look for a local instructor and they would just provide you with the details that you need.
I think yoga positions or even yoga classes are available online as well. I have a friend who teaches yoga online. So I also have experienced yoga personally before. My first impression of yoga back then was that it's kind of really slow, and it's more on balancing. Like, how could an overweight person like me lift myself up and do yoga? You know?
Because yoga is also, like what I mentioned earlier, it has the strength. It requires strength.
Balance.
Yes, balance and strength.
So I remember when I did yoga, I think that the teacher would adjust to the student. If the student is a beginner, they would just give you basic yoga positions. Like, of course, you would start with breathing so that you'll be aware of how you're breathing. And as the session goes on, you just do the positions that are required of you, and without getting yourself distracted about everything that's going on in your life. And you just feel the air. It seems like coming in and out your rib cage, like literally, and you feel like you're weightless. I remember that experience to be refreshing. Yeah, I've been planning to do that again.
Yeah, I think there is only one downside of having yoga. That is when you stretch and you fall asleep. So that's the danger of it, guys. So yoga is still an exercise, though it is an exercise that relaxes you, but it is not equivalent to sleep. So please, when you have your yoga session, don't stretch out and sleep on your yoga mat.
Yeah. I feel like of all the exercises available in the world today, I think it's only yoga who promotes slowing down. Because let's say, for example, going to the gym, high intensity interval training, it requires fast timing. Jogging, cardio, most of these exercises require you to be fast, to be agile. it also requires a limited time. So it makes you, do things faster, at a faster pace. And comparing yoga to those workouts or to those types of exercises, somehow it relieves you the stress, or it allows you to just pause and be in the moment, right? Where are we now? Tip number 4. Yeah, we are on tip number 4 now. It's journaling, praying, meditating. I have accumulated the 3 of them in one tip because I feel like they are interconnected.
Yeah.
Like, say when you pray, somehow it slows you down because you tend to think of things that you want to communicate to God. It makes you think of what happened to your day today. What are you thankful for today? What's in your heart? What's on your mind that stresses you out, that keeps you up all night, or is giving you problems? What are the current situations that you're in? It keeps you aware of, praying keeps you aware of what you are doing or what you have right now and what you don't have right now. And it keeps you focused on God because it refreshes you to know that you have a God that would listen to you, would care for you when you cast out all your problems upon Him. Meditate. After praying, we meditate, we read the Bible and just read a particular verse or a particular chapter perhaps, and just thought and allow the Holy Spirit to speak to you. And when it happens, the journaling comes in because you write the verse or set of verses that moved you, that spoke to you during that time. We call it the quiet time. You journal it. Journaling makes you remember things, especially if when you look back and when you read this, you would remember, oh, so this is how I was back then and where I am now. It keeps you reminded of your daily life, your battles that were won, the prayer requests that you had written, and you can see it being answered. And doing these things, praying, meditating, journaling, slows you down because it allows you to be in touch with God. And there's nothing you would do being in touch with God that requires quickness or that requires for you to finish fast. You have this take your time mindset to it.
Yeah, and to back it up, meditation meditate is really inviting you to pause. It's really inviting you to evaluate yourself on what you are doing, what have you done, what you have achieved, and what are you thankful for, what things that bothers you, like everything that Queenie had mentioned when you do praying and meditating. But for me personally, I don't do journaling.
Okay.
But if it would really make you feel calm to do journal, it is best for you to do journal. But for me, praying and meditating for me is enough to really make me realize that there is a God who listens to me. There is a God who is in control, and there is a God that is always reminding me to have time with Him. Pause because you are living quicker than you should be, and God will really call you to, hey, wait, you need to calm down, you need to reevaluate yourself, you need to meditate and refocus your perspectives and somehow live slowly, because you cannot enjoy the beauty of God's creation if you are always in a hurry.
Right.
So you need to slow down, see the surroundings, feel the beauty of the creation of God, and feel what God has given you. And next to our tip is savor your food or drink. So, like what I said earlier, one of my pastime is cooking and eating at the same time, because it would relax me if I could achieve a dish or a meal that I would like see on somewhere like YouTube, and I would replicate it in the kitchen and have it my own, let's say, version of it, and it would relax me because it's an achievement for me. And eating it is another achievement for me, because that would, let's say, validate that the dish that I made out of the idea that I gathered from YouTube or the internet is delicious and it's a success. So it lifts up my confidence, it boosts me up, and it calms me because you are doing something that is away from work.
Yeah.
I consider cooking not work. I mean, I consider cooking as a outlet of relaxation and not a work. So
Not a chore.
not a chore. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the word. And eating it slowly, savoring it by the time you consume it is really calming you because you really have to take time.
Right.
Like if you are going to do this dish again, what you need to improve? Is it the texture? Is it the taste? Is it the color? Or when are you going to redo this dish? And also, I would like to add, if you are going to take your food, please take it in the kitchen. Some of us are working from home. Like the room and the office is in one place.
Right.
I discourage you to eat on your station because you will not focus on the food, but you are divided. Like you focus on the food and you focus on the email that pops up every time.
Yeah.
So if you are going to eat slow or savor your food, eat it in the dining area or the kitchen so you could really feel what you are eating and what you are drinking.
Just to ask the question. So you're cooking. It's not the instant noodles cooking, right?
No. I do traditional cooking.
Oh, the ones that really require patience and hard
Yeah.
work.
Yeah, and add some modern twist on it. Like,
Okay.
for instance, if I need to cook nilaga, that would really take hours of boiling
Right.
the pork or beef bones, right? So, modernizing it by, let's say, boiling it just for an hour, then season it, then I cook with less ingredients actually because I use now the seasonings that are available, which is less cheaper, and it would also not stress me out on the prices because seeing the prices in the grocery rising up really adds on your stress.
Yeah.
So yeah, I also cook instant things like instant noodles, hot dogs,
Yeah.
but I tried to put some twist on them. Like
Okay.
there was that I cook hot dog and I call it minodog because it's a menudo without pork. It's all about hot dogs, chicken hot dog and the regular hot dog. Yeah, that's how I do my cooking.
Okay. Just to add to the fifth tip, which is to savor your food and drink. So, it helps you slow down in the fast-paced world because it keeps you aware of your chewing, and it has the benefit that when you chew slow, you will be able to savor the taste of the food, see if it's nicely cooked. It's not rarely done.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
not how you prefer it.
yeah,
What else? With a drink, especially if you have, let's say, coffee or milk tea or whatever drink that you have in mind, and you get to savor it, how bitter it can be, or how
yeah.
sweet it is, or is it the right taste for you? And
Yes.
yeah,
Just like what I said, that if you decide to redo this dish again or this drink, then you could adjust because you already tasted it and have it really tasted, evaluated by your slow eating and slow drinking. Then the next time you do the dish, it is far better than the previous one.
hopefully,
Yeah,
hopefully,
that's what
Yeah.
I always do. For example, if the first dish that I made is a bit salty, when I do redo the dish, I would try to put less salt on it.
Okay.
So it's a better version
Right.
of that dish.
Sixth tip, we're almost done. Social media fasting. This is what I do personally. I do it in a month for 1 week. So I would normally inform my friends or my contacts that I won't be available in social media for this week. Anything urgent can be sent through text or call because that's where you will only reach me. I do this just to keep myself away from the trending or from the aimlessly scrolling of your social media platforms, especially Facebook. Well, I do hear that some people get relieved with scrolling through social media, but I just don't think it's good for me or for most of us because it consumes much time, you know. Especially now that most of us are working from home, and let's say you are already cut back on the time that you used to have for commuting. So instead of using it to be resting some more, you're already using it for scrolling, for opening a video after video, an article after an article, a photo after a photo until you finish the whole album. For me, I just find it stressful and it hurts my eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's why I decided back then to do a social media fast because it also helps me see what else I can do. What else I can do with the time that I am scrolling through social media. There's so many things that you can do aside from scrolling on social media. You can help with the household chores, or you can sleep some more, or read books and discover another hobby, right? And maybe even cooking your own food, like what you said.
Yeah.
Making your own coffee instead of having it delivered.
Yeah. That's much cheaper.
Yes, right? What else? Maybe having that conversation with a loved one or with a close friend that you have not had for a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's so many things you can trade in for scrolling social media for
From your
hours,
screen time.
for hours on end. Yeah, right. Screen time. So there's so many valuable things to do in trade of the screen time. You just have to look around and be aware. Just drop your phone,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, I think that in this information age, most of us have hard time dropping our phones, putting our phones on our table and just look up and be aware of the things that surround you, of the situations that are happening around you. So yeah, that's my take.
Actually, doing social media fasting is also you are freeing some space, like what you said, for the other activities that you are planning to do or
Yeah.
that you haven't done for a while because of
Right.
your screen time. Let's say that is really consuming you a lot of time.
Yep.
We can't deny that social media, the internet is really making our days or our lives really fast. Like if we need an information, we just hit Google.
Yeah.
And if we need to search a person or a long lost relative, you can just hit Facebook. And if you want to be entertained, just hit YouTube or Netflix.
Yeah.
It's really
Just a few taps away.
yeah, it's just few types away. And if you want news, and you hate to watch television because of the commercials and everything, you just hit the page, Facebook page of that news that
Right.
you are following. So, and they would provide you news without any commercial that really frustrates you. I also do social media fasting, and the way I do it is I really don't want to see my phone near me. Like
Yeah.
I will just put it on a distance. Like if there is a message, important message, then that's the time that I would pick it up. But if there's no message at all, then I would just like leave it there, uh, ignore it for a while. Then when there is just messages like calls, texts, or instant messaging notified, that's the time that I would check it. So next is nap, sleep, or rest. Yes, I do this all the time.
Of course. All of us do.
This is, let's say, if I would rank all the tips that we have mentioned already, this would land on the numbers one spot for me.
Of course.
Yeah,
It
because
should.
every time I do work also, there were times that you really feel sleepy because reading on these emails, searching on these documents, replying to these chats and everything, it would really make you sleep because you're using your eyes to
Yeah.
really scan through things. So that's lesser activity for you in your work. It is better to somehow, there's another tip on that, on the working part, that if you don't want to be, let's say, stagnant on your work, like sitting and get sleepy, you should stand, you should walk. But in this work from home setup, if I feel really sleepy, I would just take a 15-minute nap just to reset my mind or just to relax my eyes for a bit. Then after that 15 minutes, when I go back to work, I feel energized.
Yep.
And that is also one slowing down because you don't push yourself to finish this for this, let's say, task that you have. You don't push yourself to, really need to finish this within the day without you knowing that the day is almost up. You just take a nap, reset your mind, refocus, and then you would just surprise that, oh, this is easier than I thought it would be because you're slowing it down. And sleep, yeah, I really need that. That is how we could say that the world is slowing down because we really don't know what happens when we sleep.
Yes.
And when we wake up, we feel energized, but we still find the day the same. Like, the day is just like yesterday, like work, but I have a good sleep and good rest. So with that,
You feel ready for the day.
yeah,
You're right. Taking a nap, getting sleep, getting a rest is of utmost priority when it comes to living slow in the fast-paced world. While this world can go on and on in the current pace that it is in right now, your body cannot keep up. You need your body, your tired eyes, your tired mind to rest. We all know ideally that we should sleep 8 hours in a day.
yeah, that's ideally.
That's ideal. But most of us right now cannot achieve that because of the many things that are distracting us.
Yeah.
It's not even just limited to the phones. It also includes the problems that we might be encountering, the things that are running through our mind when we get to bed. That is also time consuming. And getting enough sleep, getting enough rest is really vital for our physical body because our body really needs it.
Yeah,
Our
and
body-
we're not getting any younger these days.
Yes.
So we really need to pause, rest, and sleep.
Yep.
Because once our body is exhausted, it would really hurt you a lot. Like you need to pay the bills for the sickness, the doctor's fee, and everything. And also, let's say, once you hurt yourself because of overworking and without any resting, you might experience or you might give up what you are doing. So it is something that every person needs to energize, to relax their mind, their body, and also to, like what I said, refocus. Because after you wake up from a nap or sleep, your mind is clearer than before you go to sleep. So you can really focus on things that you need really to be done.
Right. And the last one is to pause for a minute or for how long you want in a day. Take as much time as you want. There's actually no one or nothing that is stopping you from slowing down. It's just yourself most of the time. Sometimes we are so hard on ourselves that we cannot give ourselves that well-deserved rest, that well-deserved pause that our body needs, that our soul needs, our mind needs.
Yes.
You know? Pausing in this fast-paced world might not slow down everything around you, but it will slow you down, and that's much important. It makes you slow down enough to allow yourself to refocus on your life goals, on your purpose. It allows you to be present physically and mentally, to be more aware of your surroundings and in every situation that you have, and it relieves you of the unnecessary stress and negative emotions that could easily come to our lives.
Yeah, and also I would like to give a tip on this. I've been doing this in work, like the 20-minute and the 5-minute rule. Like with the 20-minute span of time, you focus on your work. No distractions, no talking with other colleagues, no chatting on instant messaging. And after the 20 minutes, set aside a 5-minute that you do nothing. Like just close your eyes, just feel the surroundings, just wait for the 5-minute alarm to bell, Don't think on anything. Just like feel the surrounding. Then after that 5 minutes, you're back to 20 minutes again of doing work, focus work. For me, I find it really effective because I could finish my work on time because I don't allow distractions to come in. And at the same time, I have time to really calm my mind,
Yeah.
to really see what is important on what am I doing, and to really know where am I and what I am doing this for. So if you know that things and let's say you would be aware of your surrounding, you would feel the day would really be slow because you have time to really pause. Not really necessarily like you have to take 20 minutes or an hour of break. Just like in between, like 20 minutes and 5 minutes, 20 minutes and 5 minutes. Or you could set your own timer, like 30 minutes, then 10 minutes after. Just take some minutes just to pause and do nothing. Just to really calm your mind because a calmer mind is more productive than a busy mind.
That's it for the tips that we have so far. If you have anything else that you can add up to this conversation, you may DM us on Instagram at mindgabi_by or leave us a voice message on anchor.fm/bei. Thank you so much for keeping in touch with us and for supporting this podcast. We would love to hear from you soon. Good night.
Good night.
Pag dito nakutob ang atong episode for tonight. Thank you so much for tuning in with us with our evening talk and discussion. You may follow us on Instagram at mindgabi_by and in anchor.fm/BIIBAI. Thank you so much and we'll look forward to the next episode. Good night, my gabi!